Hey guys, so in this video I am gonna do a quick unboxing and maybe a quick test of the newer 11-inch articulating magic arm. So the reason I bought this magic arm, by the way, it's $20 on Amazon. This is the 11-inch and they also have a 7-inch version. So I bought the 11-inch because I have a Ninja Atmos 5 a recorder and monitor that I use for my Sony A7 III digital mirrorless camera. So usually when I shoot right over here, so I'll show you my setup really quick. So over here is my setup. I usually have my camera mounted over there for the video actions, the sliding actions, but a lot of times it's really hard for me to actually have the monitor mounted onto the thing and then slide it nicely. So the reason I got the magic arm is because there are some additional mounting holes on the plate of the slider that I can actually just put it right over there. Then I can have the monitor really nicely offset with the camera, either front or back, and then have the camera tilting or just doing sliding actions, either sideways or forward and backward. So that is the reason I bought this new magic arm. So today I'm gonna just, I just received it today, so I'm gonna take it out of the box and then give it a quick spin and see whether it does the job fine or it's a meh kind of a product. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the box. Try to position my camera a little bit right over here. And it's a nice colored packaging. Like on the top of the packaging there is actually a colored photograph of what the actual magic arm looks like. And the reason I bought this one, the newer one, compared to some other brands, is because I really like this little design on the top, on the one end of the magic arm. I think that's gonna hold the monitor actually a little bit better than some of the traditional ones that only features two of those regular plates on the magic arm. So of course made in China, and it's about $20 for the 11-inch version, and also they have a 7-inch version which is slightly shorter. They're selling for about $17, and I think you should always just get the slightly longer one, because you never know, sometimes a little bit extra distance is going to help you quite a lot. Okay, so this is the magic arm, very simple packaging, and the standard newer instructional and warranty manual right over here. Actually, it's just the warranty manual. There is not even an instructional manual in here, because it's called magic arm, so it's supposed to be super easy to use. Basically, it's got a pivoting point right over here with a controlling knob over here, and newer branding right over here. The whole arm is well constructed. It's all aluminum, like all the piece, at least from this area to this area. The two arms are all aluminum, so it's really nice. And actually, this piece, it looks like CNC machined aluminum as well. And the cool thing is you can just rotate it and then it should be able to secure the thing really nicely. And over here is the traditional plate where you just have to rotate the whole thing to get it secured onto either your equipments or onto the mounting hole on the camera plate. And in between, over here, just show you guys the construction really quick. It's just held up by a kind of nut and bolt construction. So I assume if I screw it all the way to the end, it's just gonna pop out. So let's actually just pop it out really quick and see what's inside. Oh, okay. So there is actually a ball bearing right over here, really nice, secured by two washers. So one washer is over here. It's I already put it over here. So this goes to the top, and then there's a interestingly designed shaped washer right over here. And what's inside? And over here is just the long bolt on the other side with a similarly shaped washer right over here. Okay, so how it works is that by tightening this with this interesting shaped washer, you are tightening not only the pivoting point, but also the joint on two sides. So when this little washer pushes in on the joint, it actually tightens this end right over here, so it doesn't move and stays in place, which is quite a genius design, I would have to say. So that's quite nice. Let me try to reassemble it back. Hopefully I can get it back in one piece. Let's see. Okay, so gonna have it over here, and then I think this side goes in over here. So I just need to align it somehow. So you don't have to take it out. The only reason I took it out is to show you guys what it looks like inside this mechanism. Okay, so and then at the very end is the little bearing thing, so also try to be really careful not to lose those. It's not sealed bearing, so you might have to maintain it once a while by giving it some grease so it runs nice and smooth. And then the knob itself is actually aluminum, so it feels like a solid quality item. Right over here, let's tighten it up, give it a quick test, because I think I may have not installed it correctly. So I think I did. Okay, so there you have it. Once it's reassembled, it works instantly. So the area in between, there are tooth over here. So once you tighten this, the tooth gets nicely tightened, and then a little washer on the two ends pushes the rod over here and tightens the rod. So that way, both ends are really nicely tightened. So it says it holds about 6 pounds of equipment. And obviously this thing is not 6 pounds, so it's supposed to be holding it nice and steady over there. And I'm not mounting an SSD card. By the way, it's not too much weight with addition of the SSD card anyway. So yes, I'm gonna mount this side onto the plate and this side onto my monitor, and then we're gonna give the quick test try and see whether this is gonna work or not, because it's literally my first time using it. So I want to do it in front of the camera for you guys to see. Then you would have better choices when you are looking for magic arms. And this one only costs $20. I know Manfrotto makes a really nice magic arm, but it costs 10 times more expensive, at least $100. So do also keep that in mind. And let's see. So I'm gonna mount this end over here. So to actually use this end, I think I have to tighten this down. So the joint. So okay. So first thing is nicely tighten all the end down, so both ends doesn't move. And then on this end, you actually have to rotate it. Let's see if I can do this quick. Oops. You know what? This might not work because it's a little too long. Crap. So I may need a 7-inch magic arm right over here because it's slightly too long. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So for demonstration purpose, I am gonna have to move my camera to the side, unfortunately. And I would have to say the design of this this dolly, the slider, which is, by the way, also made by Neewer, and I actually just did a review for the slider not long ago, so check that out as well. The slider, I think they could have better positioned the accessory hole on the plate right over here, because it's really hard to access it with the ball head mounted over here, and they have another accessory hole on this side, which is also very hard to access because the ball head is designed this way. The only option I have is rotated over here, but then again I can't really put the arm here because the thing is actually blocked by the camera. I can, however, tilt this just slightly, so like I can, however, mount it over this way and then have the arm at a slightly different angle. So I just removed the camera off the plate, and we're gonna make the installation slightly easier, because basically I'm just gonna tighten down everything and then somehow rotate this plate and secure it onto the plate over here, and then give it a slight angle so it's not interfering with the camera. Okay, so first thing first, I'm gonna mount it over here. So with this kind of security mounted, I can now loose this and then just adjust this pivoting point, see? So you can get a optimal angle at where you actually want to put the monitor over there. So with this secured, see, the problem is with this tightened, it still moves around a little bit. So obviously I probably didn't tighten it enough. Let's see. And we're going to try it again this way with the thing over here. That's probably a good area. And now I'm going to put the camera back on and see if it's going to interfere with my camera or not. Okay, so this step is done. As you can see, it can get into a actually interesting angle over here. And so it's going to make the monitor mounting so much easier, actually. So I can even just maybe do it this way, have the monitor like this. It is really quite magical because you can really get into any kind of angle you want, okay? So the next step is mount the actual Atmos 5 onto the head on the top. The huge advantage of this is that this piece is independent of the bottom piece. So you can actually just really nicely mount your accessories on here and have them secured really nicely. Let's see. So, oh wow. Great. This is actually a very steady mount right over here. That's the reason I bought this one compared to some other models that's $5 cheaper. This really makes a huge difference when you actually can really quickly position and tighten the monitor over here. So again, next step, I'm gonna just connect the HDMI cable on my camera. So we're gonna use the HDMI in on the Atmos 5, and then we're gonna just put it in with the micro HDMI connection on my Sony camera. We're gonna turn it on and do a quick test. Of course, I have no memory card in both, and just want to show you guys how easy it is to actually set up this this whole thing with a slider. Okay. So going to the video mode, it probably looks a little bit nicer. Let's see. All right. So right now we're in the video mode. As you can see, the monitor is performing beautifully, and I can of course have access to all the features on the monitor as well as on the camera, and it most definitely works excellent. Excellent. Shutter speed is a little too slow. Let's bump it up a little bit. So 50th of a second, and bump up the ISO a little bit so it looks a little more smooth on the camera. Okay, so right over here, as you can see, it works excellent. And so that pretty much sums it up. I think this is a great addition to any kind of external monitors, preferably smaller ones. This one is 5-inch. It might hold a 7-inch, but again, their claimed weight holdness is about 6 pounds. And again, with the monitor mounted, I can still just very easily adjust to all different kinds of angles. Over here, I can maybe do it here if I'm having the camera at a slightly higher angle, and I can even do all the way down like that. So whichever angle you want, it is possible. So you just have to wiggle around a little bit. Obviously, as you can see, I'm struggling, but let's see. Somehow I got the thing. Yep. So the only thing that I want to say is, if you have a angle like this, which kind of like how mine is set up, this thing, the ball head, the joint, you might have to tweak it a little bit for it to actually getting to a comfortable position. And my best advice is, once you have everything secured, try not to move the magic arm too much, and then it's gonna stay at a optimal position over here for all your needs. And of course, I have the cable over here. I can probably still do a fairly long slide, like so, and then go over this way. Of course, you need to make sure the cable is actually not interfering with your sliding action, obviously, like so. So works excellent, actually. This makes composition so much easier. Definitely a great buy for the Neewer 11-inch magic arm. And as I said before, it might be beneficial if you think the length between the mounting point and the camera is going to be an issue. You can get the 7-inch one, which is actually shorter. So when you raise it up, you probably wouldn't run into the issue like mine, which the cable is actually the thing is actually too long for what it needs to be. But again, the advantage of the 11 inches, you can go a much further distance away from the camera. You can go higher. You can probably even go lower with the 11-inch setup. So each of those is going to have their pros and cons. But I think for my needs, this magic arm is fantastic. Really great for what I needed for. And if you guys have any questions about this magic arm, the Neewer 11-inch magic arm, feel free to ask me in the comments section down below, and I'll try my best to answer the questions for you guys. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.